It's amazing what we got to do today. Now, the biggest thing we had to do today is when I got up this morning, first thing I always do is pray. I pray and I thank God for the day. I pray every morning. So guess what? Today, as we wake up today and have some fun, I like you to think about getting that tab and pen out right away. I'd like you to write a bunch of things down today, if you would, please. Now, if you don't know me, you get to know me. I'm going to get to know you pretty well. What does this mean? I'd like to create a blueprint for you. I'd like to show you pieces you're missing, okay? And let's say you're doing phenomenal. You're doing great. I love that. It's fantastic. What pieces are you missing? Did you get stuck? In other words, you got life. What happened with life? You got married, you fell in love, got a dog, cat, and a fish. Okay, great. You got stuck in that job and you're doing the same thing every day. All right, here's Eric again. Good morning. I've seen you there. You haven't been back here for a couple of weeks. But again, what do we get to do? Here's Jay, always, all the time. I love Jay. He's great. He's always here trying to help me as well. This is my 9th week on basically TikTok and social media. You see, for years, I just did one thing for myself, is I'd write checks. Thank you for the heart and the rose. I'd write checks for hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars and have fun. Being one of the second largest advertisers in California for about 32 years, off and on, having fun. I like helping people. So I decided to try this social media thing. Everybody's talking about this and that and AI and blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to figure out if it's going to be any fun for me. So I'm up early every day, just kind of having fun. You know, I get to do my exercise. First I pray, then I exercise, get ready to go. But I found myself being bored a lot, okay? I'm a person that has to stay busy. Hey, Russ, how you doing? So what do we get to do? All right, here's Pedro. Okay, or is it P-O? Okay. It's scrolling pretty fast. If I screw up your name, sorry, forgive me, please. I don't have any intent to do that wrong, but the reality is to help you. All right, I'd like to show you some things today, if you allow me to. Now, let's go back in time just a little bit to help you get to know me. I'm Ray Reynolds. They nicknamed me the Godfather Credit years ago. Been on basically KNX radio for about 50 years now. Good morning. All right, Ray, well, there, Alice, good morning to you, back to you. Jay Harper as well. Okay. Now, simple. I got to help, all right, TRW. That's what started the first thing in the beginning, the credit bureaus. I was consultant for TRW and training their security chief, which is called Ken Yarborough. Now, years and years ago, I created things for myself because I didn't know I was going to be helping people. The goal was basically what I was doing for myself and understand, all right, making money. I like making money. But the reality is I had a problem. As a kid, I was born in a taxi. My mommy and daddy didn't want me. I got thrown in a trash can. They knew who they were because they're rich and famous. They had to pick me back up. Then they gave me to Mrs. Hope that she'd owe from hell. So my childhood was like crazy. I was eating out of a trash can. I was homeless, being used and abused, and I just wanted out of hell. So for me, I had to study at the library all the time. It's where I'd hide out. I'd be at the library just reading books. I just lost into the books. I've been studying accounting and law basically since I could practically walk because I want to know how it worked. Now, what happened from there, I learned that a corporation is a legal person. It's a what? Legal person. So go through the process, and I created basically something called Car Finder. As a kid, I was always inventing products and tearing things apart. Good morning. So I wanted to figure out some things, and that's what I did for me. What happened a long time ago is I got to basically be the consultant for TRW, training Ken Yarborough. Now, I didn't know I was big helping people. All right, I used to own Shakey's Pizzas, a bunch of those, Subways, all right, 31 flavors, shopping centers, and condos. And my first system I wanted to help people with years and years ago was called basically winning the game of business. So this is what I put out there in 1976. So in 1976, I'm trying to show people that a corporation owning a corporation, okay? That's how your banks do it. If you look at the city or the state in the United States of America, they take 50 corporations and make it 50 states. Cities are corporations as well, unless it's an unincorporated area. So what do we get to do? They actually said I'm one of the original coaches helping people in 1976. I'm just trying to help people. That's the goal. I wanted to figure out how to help you and everything else you're trying to do. In 1976, I was tested at Tewinkle Junior High when I was 14. Okay, they made me take the test 3 times. They made me in my gym shorts, no anything else on, because they thought I was cheating. They gave me the SAT test. Every test they gave, I just passed because if you actually read the book and memorize the answer, you can pass any test. Going to school was easy because I could just get A's on everything, just me. But again, when they tested me at 14 and a half, this is what changed my life a lot. I got sucked into a government program, okay? I was at Owens Coast College, part-time. Well, I got $1 million in the bank. You see, when I created this for a system and I put it out there while I'm going to Owens Coast College at 14 and a half, I created this, the original one of these, in 1976. $1 million in the bank. By the way, I was only 16. How's that? So at 16 years old, I'm driving a Lamborghini and a Ferrari and having some fun. See, I knew how to make money. That's what I'm great at, is making money. And I ended up being that consultant for TRW, which stood for Thomas, Raymond, and Woolridge. They made bicycle parts in El Segundo, California. And that's how they got started. It became Aspirian in 96, if you don't know that. So guess what we had to do? Now, it was my idea to create the oldest card for history. So let's go back and let's write down today's date. It is the 20th of January, 2026. This year, if you would listen and learn from me and let me help you a little bit, I guarantee you, you could create something called auto income. This is your future if you listen to me, okay? This is a entity owning 9 more entities, okay? We're gonna take what the Supreme Court said. Supreme Court, you heard of them before? You see, they turned around category, an LLC. If you have that, you have 9 types, which kind you have? LLP, okay, C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit, PC. Now, I'd like you to share this live with everybody, as Jay says as well. Share the live. Let me help you. Say hi. Hey, Joseph. All right. Hi. How you doing up there, too? So what do? Now, the oldest card. I want you to understand something. Unless you listen and hear it from me, you're not going to learn these rules and tools, and that's why I want to help you as much as I can. So what is the difference, okay? Let's do this. All credit cards fluctuate but 2. Let's write it down. Let's understand some basics. All credit cards fluctuate but 2. Thank you for all the hearts. What does that mean? This is a $10,000 credit card, $10,000, okay? I believe you need about 7 of these and about a $50,000 card, but it's going to be up to you. I believe every consumer needs 100,000 of personal credit because we go through the up and down all the time, and you make your score up and down all the time, and that's what kind of sucks. So if we look at the card and we put a sticky behind every card, sticky, very simple. If we say it's $10,000, whatever it is, okay? See, if you have a card for $1,000, you can't use it past $290, knowing the rules and tools. Unfortunately, no one's telling you the truth in rules and tools. Now they're saying below 30, but they didn't give you the actual rules. And I was going to sue Credit Karma during pandemic because they kept telling everybody 42%, which is wrong. So let's go back to this card. If you had cards in your personal wallet today, I'd tell you to put them in front of you. I'd tell you to get a pack of stickies and start going and educating yourself. Every card can only use 29%. All right, this is the rules that I set up when I'm training Yorobro back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. 29%. What that gave us is the card is going to be in the green, your credit score. Unfortunately, what happens is most people jack it up. 70% of you have crappy credit, and you jacked up your credit, and knowing you're kind of stuck. And then you're going to probably hire some of these credit repair flakes that are against actually federal law anyway. Public record says Fair Credit Reporting Act, it's against the law to do credit repair. You're supposed to be a nonprofit. You're supposed to have a bond as well. But again, they don't have that. They're all going to repair your credit and lie to the creditors and the credit bureaus. Fantastic. If we look at the card, the 29% rule is in place to this day. I set it up in the late 70s and 80s and 90s. What does that mean? I cannot take this card past, all right, $2,900 because it's only $10,000. If I take it past $2,900, that means my score gets into the yellow and then the red. So if all cards fluctuate, let's understand that. All cards fluctuate but 2. So if I look at the credit cards you have today, the first thing I think you should do is a rapid refresh. Let's understand and put rapid score, please. Rapid score would be where you push your score up and away, as long as you do something on your part. 49 years ago, all right, training Harold Stokes, Ken Yorobro, and Harold was my mentor, and also I was helping training him some things as well. And basically what it came to is Ken Yarborough. I came up with what's called rapid rescore and rapid refresh. This is where you basically understand how to play. All right, what's your IQ? I need to learn from you. Well, the reality is, sir, at 14, at Tewick Junior High, by the time they test me the third time, my IQ is 203. I have total recall in most things. I write with both hands and talk at the same time and rhyme all the time. How's that? And that's why I have my 3 computers. I'm using both at the same time. That's just me. They told me I was dumb. They wanted to put me in a special class, okay? The reality is very simple. But again, let's go back to the basics here, because it doesn't matter about IQ is. What matters is what you can do for you, what I can do for you. If you listen, I can get you to millionaire status if you want to. I got to millionaire status at 14 and a half, 15 years old. Okay, that was just me. But again, I created my first billion at 21 through corporate structure. Billion, okay? Billion. So again, at 2.6 billion, 26. When I died in a coma in 2009, all right, and you look at my yacht in my backyard, UDock in Huntington Harbor, okay? We took out people July 4th, 2009 to watch the fireworks that very night. Next day, I'm in a coma, and at 5:41, my heart stopped, and they said I was dead, okay? I was in a coma for 10 days. So what happens here? If we understand rules and tools, what is rules and tools? All cards fluctuate. So let's put a sticky in the back of our card. Now, the next thing is, let's understand. They're not teaching this, and they should too. Let's write down gold and platinum card. I'm an affiliate. I'm an affiliate, okay? So that means one thing. I'm an affiliate to 119 creditors. Can I say I'll never be 30 and a billionaire, but hopefully to be one of out of 40? Okay, whatever that means for you. I'm not a millionaire. I will never say I'm a millionaire. I said I brought in millionaire structure. Listen to my words very carefully. I think anybody says they're rich and they're a millionaire, I call that kind of silly and dumb, because that puts you in first place. That's why the IRS basically indicts people. Bill Gates was indicted 4 times. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, okay? 4 times. Why? Because of what he was doing, and what he had to do is step down from his own company. So let's go back to this. Write down gold and platinum cards. As an affiliate, I got them to basically do what's called a POT. Let's write down POT. It's called paid over time limit. So understand, what happens to most people with their lack of knowledge, they bring the pain home. What do we get to do for ourselves? So let's understand as we play this game. So these cards do not what? Fluctuate. They what? They do not fluctuate. So if you want help, you're going to have to get to know me, because I'll help you, all right, but I want to get to know you as well. So let's understand what this means. Today, this is the 20th of January, 2026. This afternoon at 3 o'clock this afternoon, thank you for joining the fan club, 3 o'clock. Now let's put Pacific Standard Time, because maybe you don't realize right now it is basically 3:30 in the morning, okay? Roughly it's 3:30 in the morning, and what do we look at? Today, I'm going to basically show you a demonstration, if you allow me to, at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, what is called a blueprint. I would like you to let me help you with the blueprint. Your score is, it's 6:30 there. That's fantastic. Well, it's 3:30 here. So you're 3 hours. You're in, Eastern time. Fantastic. No problem. Now, these cards do not fluctuate. Let's write it down. That means each card here, the paid over time limit is $100,000. They're actually unlimited. So all of a sudden, let's say today you lost your job. You lost your job, and you're going to panic. Unfortunately, most people do. And it's, oh, crap. Today, well, if you don't find another job, oh, crap, again and again. Thank you, Jay, for the fan club message. What happens is you jack up the wrong card, you drop your score, you get stuck, you can't get any more. So let's understand Ray's rules and tools. Let's write down Ray's rules and tools. I've been teaching this now 50 years. If you want to listen and learn, I can change your life if you want to. So basically, it's very simple as we do this, okay? Bro, you're not talking about, S-H-I-T, I'm going to say it out loud. For me, it's God, it's family, it's money. Now, when I say family, my wife and I got married 20 years ago, so I'm going to say we became one. Bottom line, get to it, all right? It's very simple. So if we look at the rules and tools, these fluctuate. That's why you need a stick in the back of the card. These do not fluctuate. So if you have an old crap day or emergency, it's very simple. Okay, what you'd want to do is use the right card. And the right card you use, what happens, you screw it up. You bring the pain home. I opened an LLC just to get business credit, but I'm still not doing it correct. Well, here's the problem, okay? And I think most people have this problem. 1987, while I'm training Yarborough, I created the first dashboard that allows tax ID. So what happens is your LLC, you don't have the Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax cash reports under tax ID yet. Now, my dashboard, I can help you set it up if you want to, but it's up to you again. Now, let's go back. Corporate credit, for instance, these are basically our ink cards. Chase has 6 ink cards. So that means if corporate credit for your LLC is built, that basically won't show up on your personal file. The only card that ever show up on your personal file for you would happen to be a Spark, all right, which is Capital and Spark cards. In a lot of ways, we want it to be on both files anyway. It helps get debt to ratio. It helps you with reporting purposes. So let's understand. All right, LLC, there are 9 types. Now, again, you'd have to look at what type you have. The next thing is, let's talk about categories. If you would listen to what I want you to do today at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, you're going to learn Ray Reynolds, me, what's called auto income. I'd like to create for you, if you like, let me do it with you, for you, teach you how to create up to $100,000 a month income. Now, today you're doing what you do to create income. That's fantastic. Your income should be designed as your lifestyle. Lifestyle should become your income. Why do I look at it that way? Here's our problem. If you get a paycheck today, it's taxed before you get the check. Then you want to complain about tax all the time. So your paycheck today is taxed because you, or mommy, signed an SS5 form. And most of you don't even know what an SS5 is. So what happens is go into the Linktree Hollywood. All right, it's very simple. You'll see things as well we're going to talk about today as well. But again, you also can call the office in 2.5 hours, 3 hours when somebody's here. I'm up every day at 1:45 in the morning. Okay, that's just me. I used to get up at 2:25 in the morning. All right, I had to because the abuser would get me at 2:30. As a kid, being used and abused, it sucks. So guess what? So what I would tell you to do is what I started 9 weeks ago. 9 weeks ago, I started to do on social media to see if I wanted to do it, okay? Because I wanted to see if I can help more people, because I usually just write big checks for, TV, radio, newspaper, all that stuff. And being the second largest advertiser in California for about 32 years was kind of fun. But again, what do we do? Now, keep in mind, I came out of coma, all right, 2009, 2010. When I came back out and had to rebuild myself because my $3.7 billion was stolen, okay? Stolen, my tax guy. He decided to help himself, which is typical. So what happens is I have to rebuild my life again in front of the world, okay? But I did build $1 million of credit in 6 weeks, and I basically bought my wife her next estate that she can enjoy. Now, coming out of coma in 2009, there were 14 people online being tended to be me. Robert, my attorney, had to sue them all to get them off there, stop being tended to me, because I got to come back, and they were just basically just ripping people off. Unfortunately, in this world today, not everybody likes me, not everybody likes you. Got to live with that. So on TikTok, I have one, all right, only one, okay, only one, all right, official site for TikTok. There are 2 phony sites out there already, okay, copying me. So you take your picture, you make sure you're on the right one so I can send you the right link. So when we play this afternoon at 3 o'clock, you get stuck with me, okay? So keep in mind, there's always some turd always copying your goodies and what they're going to do to try to steal your life. I have my attorneys have to remind Kiyosaki and Tony Robbins all the time, I own cash flow for you per time, okay? Have, since I created my first system that was out there in 1976 when I was 16, okay? I own the blueprint of success, so my attorneys have to remind these people through lawsuits, quit stealing my goodies. Now, the rules and tools are very simple. Let's do this, okay? If you have kids in high school or college, This is basically called starting out right. I would like you to help your kids not make the same mistakes we did. Would that be okay? This is a free free download right there in the link tree. Starting out right. It's free. I give it to the world for free because I want them to change their lives. Okay? I want them to realize I'm not full of crap. Get to know me, I'll get to know you, and I'll turn your LLC into $1 million structure if you want to. But again, maybe you know everything. I don't know everything, but I've been studying the law and accounting since I could practically walk. Erica says, thank you. Well, the bottom line is, get the copy for your kids. Now, do yourself a favor, please. If you buy the hard copy, it's about $10. So, why don't you read it for yourself? You're missing rules and tools yourself, too. So the goal, it's very simple. Everybody in high school and college, all right, gets the book, and we teach them about personal credit, which is what taught us in the first place. So we go back to situation. So keep in mind, it's very simple. As we play this game, let's see what it said, okay? Get to know you, all I know, actions are key, knowledge is everything. Well, reality is you have an LLC, as you said. Now let's understand what that really means. Average on how long the 1023 easy form will take. Well, again, depends on you. I've had people get it done in 3 weeks. Okay, that's for the nonprofit, by the way. Jay's asking a question. Because I help people set up a nonprofit to get grant money up to $100,000 a month. Okay, because they can get a raise or actually help more people. Everything you're showing is I don't understand what that means, okay? Anyway, the bottom line is get to the link tree. Unreadable, well, the reality is that's not true, but anyway. All right, so guess what? Link tree, all right, that's why I say it's called starting it right. Maybe you can't see it, okay? Let me go like that. Can you see it now? Yeah. All right, it's free, okay? There's always a turd in the bunch, no matter what we do. So, the goal would be, if we help our kids, high school and college, they can make sure they don't make the same mistake that we do. I spoke to one of your paralegals yesterday. They said, I will be meeting with you. Well, it's going to be up to you, okay? See, as you think, your name is cash flow something, okay? So what happens is cash flow frees up our time. It's in my first series, all right, 1976, by the way. And what I always want to do is create what's called financial freedom. When I wrote the first book on payphones, all right, years ago, let's understand, this is auto income. Auto income, what does that mean? Today, I'll bet you the other day you drove by a Wendy's restaurant. My question would be to you, why don't you own it? You see, I think people are trying to start their own business, be an entrepreneur, but let's understand auto income. I bought my first Jack in the Box when I was 19, okay? All right, it's run by a management company. I'm an investor. All right, the corporation that I represent, or corporations, invest in auto income businesses. I wrote the first book on laundromats, car washes, years ago. Now I have clients, you need a car wash or laundromat, excuse me. Do you want to work there or own it? Those are two different things. Do you want to work there or be the investor? Most car washes are ran by management companies. So are laundromats, so are dry cleaning, okay? These are the books I wrote over 40 plus years ago. All right, what do I well? I don't know what that means, okay? We can basically show you how to get to where you want to go. Say hi up here as well. So what do? If we go back to basics, let's look at what you have today. If you have an LLC, okay, I would ask you what kind do you have? There are 9 types. I'd ask you, do you have 9 divisions or 18? The division process I created in 1985. Okay, very simple, 1985, 86. Today, if you have that LLC, it is on the Secretary of State's website. Your name is right there. You're the officer. You're on the bank account. When they sue the LLC, they sue you. Congratulations. All right? We have to realize we don't want to be a duck and a sheep. Again, they sue that LLC, they'll sue you. Maybe you have an LLP. Maybe you have a C Corp. Okay? All right, maybe you have an S Corp, a nonprofit, or a PC. So again, as we look at things, we're looking to structure. Structure is the key to everything that we're trying to do as well. So if we have these pieces, let's go back to Supreme Court. You've heard of them, right? The Supreme Court says that the LLC, LLP, C Corp, S Corp all right, in basic C Corp, nonprofit PC, happen to be a legal person. Okay, a legal person. I said it my first time, it's only 6 months old. Okay, but understand, Hollywood, it was filed last year. Okay, a corporation or an LLC, whatever you want to call it, and you in division process. All right, the day it's filed, it's its birth date. So guess what happens? Okay, I own a transportation business. Okay, well, if it's real, I like the ones that are phony all over the place, ripping off the United States of America and these phony daycares. A transportation business should be a division of your LLC, sir. If it's transportation and you tied it into nonprofit at the same time, you could get government grants. How's that? They would give you government grants for profit and nonprofit, and that would allow you to create $100,000 a month if that's what you wanted to do. At the same time, think about owning something like a Wendy's, a Jack in the Box, or a storage unit, a laundromat, a car wash. Something creates auto income. We have a problem. We're getting older, slower. We're not as pretty as we used to be. And I'm talking to you about myself, okay? So the bottom line is very simple. So what we want to do is basically understand what's called auto income. Everybody wants to invest, but let's invest in something that gives us income for the rest of our lives. The rest of your life got your income. The reality today, they're not building what is called legacy. People get stuck into probate every day because they don't know what they're doing. And what happens when they're gone, someone else gets stuck into probate, and that's what happens. Through my studies through all the years since I was a kid, John D. Rockefeller is my hero. Why is he my hero? Simple. Okay? All right? In 1934, irrevocable trust, he knew what he was doing. We're talking billions and billions and billions. Never got stuck into probate. Okay? Never got stuck into probate. So if we listen, learn today, we could probably get through that process. Now understand, write down Ray Reynolds, that's me. I'm online twice a day, Monday through Friday. I've been in person or online for 50 years, helping people once or twice a day. All right, helping them because I get bored very easily to make sure they understand how to play the game to win. If you do not have a LLC, LLP, C Corp, nonprofit, PC, all right, all those other things, look in the link tree below. Your articles are free, okay? I like to give people their articles for free because there's a problem. Most people spend thousands of dollars, don't learn how to play the game because no one really wants to help you. And that kind of, it's not nice. So what do we get to do? If we play the game to win, your articles are free. Free. So that's what we do. It's very simple. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you. Well, what I want to do is help you set up your foundation. Let's write down foundation. All right, builds what? Structure builds finance. If you had the foundation and the structure, your corporation would finance itself. Thank you for the rose. Share this live with everybody, please. I'm trying to get to 25,000 followers today. Been trying that for about a week. I got 24, almost there, no problem. If you share the live with people, and if your friends and family got into a program, I give you free goodies or send you some money. It's simple. All right, we all need some money, don't we? We like to play the game to win, but it's up to you. See, if you became an associate of ours or affiliate, you'd basically make $1,000 a day, if that's what you wanted to do. My associates, all right, and basically what happens is affiliates make about $5,000 a week, okay, just by referring people, just for the fun of it, and that's paid to their corporations. If they, share and everything else, have fun. Would an extra $5,000 a week help you and your organization? But we understand, you get a paycheck. Your paycheck is taxed before you get the leftover. Then everything you touch, tax again, tax again. That's what happens to you. The problem is there's no loophole. Okay, I don't like the word loophole. Okay, that's what it means, loophole. No. If you do tax balancing, you're doing what they allow you to do. We're not looking for loopholes. We're not looking to do credit repair, freaky stuff and crap like that, because that's actually against federal law. I'm not here to be safe an attorney, but when they indicted Daniel, the credit repair cloud, okay, because that's they're going blah, blah, blah. Understand, you can rebuild yourself under the process if you want to rebuild yourself. But again, here's someone saying trust is what you own. own nothing, control everything. See, that's great. Let me get out my magic wand. If you don't have the 1,000 steps to do that, it's BS. I mean, the problem with the world, they keep doing what's called half blankety black job. All right, I control everything. I'm a puppet master. I control millions and billions, always have. I'm not rich. I don't want to be rich. So yes, I will control it, but there's 1,000 steps to do that. It's not that silly book you see on social media and blah, blah. Everything's in a trust. It's a lot more. There's 1,000 steps to get to where you want to go. So today, share the live with people. Please share the live, all right, with everybody and what needs to be done. Yes, I need help. Well, we all need help. Me, I just need to help people because that's what I feel God wants me to do. I'm going to tell you God, family, money. When I say family, my wife and we got married 20 years ago. We became one, okay? So if we listen and learn today, it's like anything else we do. First of all, we always go back to basics on our personal cards. All cards fluctuate. Write it down. We're going to go through this until it just sinks in 1,000 times in your brain. Every card needs a sticky because you have to make sure you don't go past 29%. If you go past 29%, you just put your credit and your history and your credit score into the yellow, If you go past 30%, it's yellow, 50 is red. I need the phone number so I can call you after work right now. Well, you're driving. Okay, no problem. It's in the link tree, but it's 800-254-9506. Talk to one of our team members, one of our specialists, no problem. All right, serious question. Is your 2009 tragedy in the newspaper, online, and can't find? Well, it's all over the place if you look hard enough to look at it. But let's talk about focus today because everybody goes through crap. Do you want your crap to be on the newspaper? Mine was, so it's up to you. But again, let's focus on what we're trying to do today, not crap, okay? What happens is, all right, if you go to the 3 o'clock this afternoon, all right, we would show you exactly, all right, the past, present, and future. So it'll help you connect your dots, but it's going to be up to you. So again, let's focus on fluctuation, sticky. Let's focus on all cards fluctuate, but these two do not. So we learn rules and tools. We find out we have an LLC, an LLP, okay, very simple, a C Corp and S Corp, a nonprofit, which are a PC professional corp. Share the life with everybody. If you'd like to be one of the affiliates, all right, basically your service, it's simple, all right, they make up to $1,000 a day and about $5,000 a week. If you want to be a serious affiliate, they're doing over about $24,000 a month. Just part-time, just referring people. But again, that's what people are doing today. Now, if you have that LLC, the LLP, the C Corp, the S Corp, the nonprofit PC, we would basically help you build your credit to that as cash credit. Now, understand, Supreme Court said those categories receive what? They're actually a legal person. So if we create that entity, your corporation could obtain a card, 10 cards, and daisy chain it to more cards. Yes, I have my C Corp, fantastic. Remember, C corporations are double taxed. Not here to be an attorney, but I can help you if you want. And I can get you to that 3 o'clock this afternoon. 3 o'clock this afternoon, it's very simple. If you show up, I'm going to show you a blueprint and what a sample to help you as you want to. We're going to show you a little bit more about me, past, present, future, how I died in a coma, came back, and all that. Or someone brings up the crap. I bring it as a reference. What happens with me as a kid being used and abused, it gave me the frustration that I was pissed off. I use that pissed off attitude to go research and get off my what's. So it's very simple. I'll be there at 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's right. It's 3 hours difference. Right now, it is 3:50. All right, 1 on my watch. It's 3:51 on the phone, okay? I'm online 3:15 in the morning, a.m. all the time because I want to be. I choose to help people. Again, what do you want to do? So again, it's going to be up to you as we play this game. My private non-strategy trust owns everything. I just trustee when I need to be or not or what said. I don't know what it said anyway. So, well, the reality is private trust is one thing. All right, it's like the one guy, howdy do, with the hat going, you need a private trust, it's like peekaboo. The reality is, all right, when it comes to a private trust, yes, it's set up, but there's still assets and money and tax return on the other things connecting the dots. Those are the 1,000 steps people are missing as well. So again, as we have this problem, Mickey D says, what are you going to be teach us? Well, you were late, so the reality is you want me to repeat myself. I would like you to go to the 3 o'clock, okay, today, Pacific Standard Time, to show you how to create a blueprint. I'd like you to learn that you can have $100,000 a month income, and we're going to call it auto income. Trust is not an agreement with yourself. No, the reality is you don't just want to trust. There's a lot more to that, just yourself. Again, there's a lot of things from the LLC and all these pieces and having a trust tied into it. And also, you should say irrevocable trust, okay? Right now in Congress and our government and everything else, they're challenging private trust as it is. Irrevocable, it's not challengeable. A private trust is. So again, be careful. Okay, Energy Bank Act that discharge trust offset on asset with it. In 1933, look at like 1934. Okay, Roosevelt, the Gold Act. All right, what we had our SS5 for, to equals an SSN and a 1040 tax return. That's what you should be looking at, okay? We can always go back to 33, but 33 was actually outvoted in 34 anyway. So again, go back to the process. And Nixon took the gold standard out August in 71. Again, good morning, Brandy. Okay, how you doing? So if we look at the goodies, we should think about what we have as a setup foundation. Foundation is the key. Foundation builds finance, builds the dream. Thank you for the lightning bolt, Brandy. Okay, what does that mean? If today we have the foundation. See, on social media, I'm sorry I call it circus clowns are everywhere. They're going blah, blah, blah. You need a trust, you need a secret one, you need this, you need 5 LLCs. To me, it's a bunch of hooey, okay? It's very simple as we can as you're repeating the same thing everybody else does. All right, do we set up a trust and own nothing? Okay, understand. There's 1,000 steps before you even think about that. I mean, most of you talk about trust, let's own nothing and control everything, but do you have anything? I mean, do you have $1 million? Do you have 5 million? Do you have 10 million? Do you have 50 million? See, this is what I teach people to do in Rich and Famous. I represent Lakers, Clippers, Dodgers, and Angels, and rich and famous people all over the globe. I've helped them for 50 years. But again, they have structure, they have money. So saying you control everything, own nothing, that's a bunch of hooey unless you have money. I'm so broke. Well, the reality is most people, they try a business, and what happens is they fall down because they didn't have the structure. If 97% of businesses fail in the first 3 to 5 years, what's the problem? Okay? The problem is foundation builds structure, builds finance. But I'm a hustler. Well, hustler, all right, Hollywood, get to the 3 o'clock today. It's very simple because if you don't structure, all right, you're never going to have auto income. That's not our juicer. Well, the reality is it's very simple. I can show you the laws and accounting and all the degrees and all the blah, blah. It is true, okay? We have to realize there's 1,000 steps to basically structure money and finance. It's not just I have an LLC and a trust or a blind trust, okay? There's so many things to this, but what do we look to do? All I can tell you, controlling millions and billions, all right, and I teach Rich and Famous every day. I taught Warren Buffett 39 years ago how to leverage money, reference 3 times 5. How's that? Okay, so again, what do you want to do? How do you make auto income? Well, first of all, you go to the class today at 5 o'clock. No, see if you pay attention, it's 3 o'clock. I want you to go to 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'd like to show you how I created millions and billions and give you the blueprint for you so you can do the same thing for yourself. What happens is very simple. So again, what you want to do is go to the 3 o'clock. It's alive. It's an hour and a half, by the way. Okay? And what do you get to do? So I guess what we structure is what needs to be done. All right? So the bottom line is you've got to understand structure. All right? First of all, personal credit fluctuates. Stop the personal credit from fluctuating. Quit jacking up your credit. Write the cards that don't fluctuate. The rules and tools that I've taught for 49 years since I'm Ray Reynolds, the Godfather, credit that created 60 billion of credit for me and my clients. But then the next thing we have to do is understand finance is the structure to build what we need to do. When I help the structure of the credit system, okay, I'm the guy that trained Ken Yarbrough at TOW, became a Sperian, 70s and 80s and 90s. My first series was Winning the Game of Business. This was released in 1976, by the way. See, banks own banks. That's called a subsidiary. So in other words, their parent company owns branch numbers. Branch numbers are corps owning corps. I changed the rules for the world. You heard of the world before? In 1985. When I developed what's called division process. So if we basically structure it correctly, we can win the game of business. So the guess, see, this is what he said. Trust has to be funded. This is where those 1,000 rules and tools. That's why I say that when guys talking about blind trust, it's bull crap. Okay, if it's not structured right. Money has a footprint. All right, IRS checks it out. That's what's happening all the time. So you have to fund the trust. You have to fund all the pieces. If you don't have the 1,000 steps, all right, you're going to get screwed up. My favorite was always John D. Rockefeller. Irrevocable trust, millions and billions in structure. That's what he did. And his family never got stuck. Never got stuck into probate. And that's the bottom line. Is there corporations like a trust? Well, let's put it this way. There's 9 types of LLCs, okay? It's like anything else. If you have a series LLC or nonprofit LLC, there are 9 types. But structure is that one person, at least that one person added some positive to it. Because again, all right, it has to be funded. It's like how the duty out there going, you got to have 5 trusts, this and that, own the LLC and all this crap. Everybody has to understand one thing. There is structure to basically build what you're trying to build. Okay? If America will be great again, I think America is great today. I think we're great. But I think there's a lot of problems in the world. I think if we focus on ourselves and our family first, that would be okay. I believe Chris set me up with a C Corp. Yes, I want you to be C. And a nonprofit, which should be the parent company. No. Jay, I want them to be separate. See, the C Corp, you set that up first if you did what you did, is because simple. All right, C, if you screw it up, you can walk away. That's the bottom line. C is a walk-away corp. Now, if you start making money in C, you're going to convert it to S. All right, S is single file for you in the corporation under the 1244. Again, that's what you're allowed to do when you start getting to that level. Nonprofit is going to offset taxes. It's like today, you all get a paycheck, you're taxed. You were taxed on your paycheck, you get the leftover. That sucks. If we look at it correctly, we can make sure we design our paycheck is our lifestyle, our house payment offsets our taxes, and we get our money back. That's what would happen. Okay? S is a what? Investors. Well, the reality is S corporation is single filing. It stands for silly or dumb, and the reality is S because it's single filing under the 1244 as we play this game. Here not to be CPA attorney, all right, but to help you and answer your questions so you can get past go. Structure is finance. Finance is the dream. But what do? If you have kids, I want to make sure you do this as well. All kids need what's called Starting It Right. It's a free download. It's free. Everybody gets it for free. Why not? So still an LLC with an S Corp. No. This is where the fortune is wrong. Your LLC becomes S. See, there's the problem. If I have an S Corp and an LLC, they're both on Secretary of State's website. They both have bank accounts. They both have tax IDs. I've just made myself a double duck. Which one's going to get sued that screws me? If one's sued, they sue the other one as well because it's you. Your structure sucks. Sorry. I don't like it. All I can tell you is going back for the kids, I don't want them to make the same mistakes we did. And since I helped set up the system, all right, it's very simple, helping Yarbrough, the 28% rule. Well, you're successful, fantastic, until you're sued. That's what'll happen. Then you're screwed up. One lawsuit, you're in the duck. You're basically, you're not going to be successful. All it takes is one lawsuit because you bumped a car, your wife bumped a car, All right, something happened. All right, some employee or some turd wanted to sue you, and you're in the rabbit hole. And what happens is you did not plan the problem. You did not plan the problem, and you'll get your assets kicked. You'll be older, slower, and not as pretty as you want to be. I can show you exactly millions and billions, so we structured over the years to make sure they can't take it away. And that's what you should think about what you're doing today. There's that rhyming thing I do. If you have an LLC, you're okay. Is that right? No, understand. LLC, all right, this is a problem. It's on, look at Secretary of State's website today. Please look on it. Here's your LLC in your state. There's your officers list. There's your name. And you probably use your home address, which is called silly. You should use P.O. Box. Now, the next thing is, now the bank wants real address too. So let's understand. If they sue that LLC, they sue you. Congratulations. They will sue you, and what happens, you lose everything you have. So if you think that LLC, S Corp, C Corp, nonprofit, PC protects you, it's a bunch of hooey. Okay? It's a bunch of hooey. If they sue the corp, they sue you. Congratulations. An LLC is driven by management. It says certificate of ownership. You're the managing member. Managing member, it's in your possession. When they sue it, they sue you. They sue you. You want to be a duck and a sheep, that's up to you. If you understand structure, that LLC will have division process. Divisions give you the line of defense. Well, that means if a division had a problem, you can get rid of the bad piece. All right, you can't have a trust without a will. Well, the reality is just wanted to be added. Okay, thank you for adding the piece. Well, the will is what's driving basically what happens within the trust. So in the trust, there should be the definition, if you want to put it that way. Who's going to control this or that? All right, so can I start a trust? Of course you can. But again, do you have any assets to protect yet? Which is better, P.O. Box or registered agent? Registered agent's a bunch of hooey and a bunch of crap. You should be your own registered agent in your state and use a P.O. Box. Why would you waste money for something that's worthless? Because when they serve that registered agent, they'll tell you are anyway. Okay. All right. Can you go to Wyoming and Delaware? All right. Understand. Here's Mr. Fortune again. All right. Let's go back in 1995. In 1995, every bank and credit card was Delaware. Okay, 95. Delaware chose to disclose and have another tax. So everybody ran to Wyoming and Nevada, blah, blah, blah. If you look at Ray Reynolds, the Godfather, which is me, in 2009, I am the largest registered agent in the world. I've sold 10 times corporations than anybody on this planet to this day. To this day. Okay, I was known as King of Satellite and King of Nevada. Nevada is only when you're making 3 to 5 million. What happens if you circumvent your state today, all right, your state gets pissed off and you're trying to play stupid games. Okay, all right, nothing private in commerce. Well, the reality is private doesn't make sense because there's a paper trail. I got a private trust. Ooh, peekaboo. It's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of hooey. Everything has a fingerprint and it has money tracks. So if we look at structure, we can do tax balancing and not tax evasion. And that's what most people do, tax evasion and crap. You do not want Nevada or Wyoming until you're doing 3 to 5 million. In Wyoming, you can't even open a bank account. And if you use registered agent, if you lie to the bank, they're going to catch you. They're going to close it anyway. Your major banks are Chase, Wells Fargo, B of A, US Bank. Those are the ones you want. That'll give you what's called checkbook money, up to $150. Some little online bank crap isn't going to help you. They don't add divisions. They don't help you get the line of credit you need. So again, it's going to be up to you as well. Structure is finance. Structure builds dreams. Today, if you gave referrals, let's say you did referrals, you were part of an affiliate program, you could be making up to $1,000 today, but I wouldn't pay you. I would pay your organization through tax ID, so it absorbs the money. Absorbs the money. All right, LLC, whatever you have as structure, all right, if it receives the money under tax ID, no taxes due, till you're profitable. Your goal is create debt offset taxes. I said for over 50 years, pay tax by a Lamborghini or Ferrari. And I'd show all the Ferraris and Lamborghinis in the 21 car collection. Simple. Elon Musk says pay tax by a spaceship. Borrow $44 billion to not pay tax and avoid tax. Again, borrow money is not taxable. Structures finance, and unfortunately out there, all right, a lot of you listen to the circus clowns going blah, 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 and you repeat the same thing when you're missing pieces. There is 1,000 rules and tools and steps that you're going to have to understand. If you don't understand structure, you're not going to get where you want to go anyway. Your future should be this: auto income, 100,000 a month. Your future should be today, refer people to us. Okay, let me send you $1,000. Get to be an affiliate. An affiliate. Affiliate makes sense. What happens is you get the structure, and we won't pay you. We'll pay your organization. But again, they have a what jurisdiction? Make it make sense. Well, that's why there's a blueprint this afternoon. That's why, again, getting to know me in the beginning, answering questions, talking about fluctuation, how I basically demonstrated, and how I actually trained Yarborough for TRW as a consultant about the oldest card. Then the fluctuation rule, sticky time. Okay, you're going to have to invest some time getting to know me as I get to know you. The problem you have today is structures or finance. It's a dream, but again, this is not just answer a question and be done. If you don't basically get your finance and structure, this is the problem with all of you. You will get screwed up. Okay, so fortune, but I'm trying to meet Joe when they went scrolling by. Okay, all right. Why worry about 8% tax when you're willing to pay more to getting a loan? Okay, well, understand. All right, if you got these here, they're free up to 22 months. So let's not think about the 8% tax, okay? The problem is, all right, if you're going to create what I create for people all the time, you're talking 100,000 a month income, it's $1.2 million. We're gonna make sure we protect our assets every step of the way. But it's gonna be up to you as you do things, okay? I need you to learn, all right? You need me to help you learn. Okay, well, that's what it's all about. If you allow me your time today at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to demonstrate to you for an hour and a half, all right, my past, present, and future, and what I had to go through to get back to billionaire status and control that. I'm not a billionaire, but the corporations are that I manage. Okay, millions and billions, because I created my first million, all right, 14 and a half, 15 when I invented Car Finder. When I put out there, all right, this system here, winning the game of business in 1976, hell, I was 16 years old. Driving a Lamborghini, what were you doing, huh? Simple. I never went to high school. I was at Owens Coast College instead. But I got sucked into a government program. After they tested me at 2 week in junior high. So the reality is simple. Getting to help TRW and train Ken Yarborough on the back end as a consultant was fun. I know the oldest card, the 20% rule. We fluctuate. Sticky beyond cards. These don't fluctuate. So what you should basically be understanding is someone can give you basically the structure, and that's what you need as you play this game. So the reality is learn, listen, and play. All right? You're the man I need to learn from. Well, again, it's going to be up to you. All I can do is help you, answer your questions, and guide you. My team can help you as well, but again, it's structure. I'm going to tell you, God first, always in my life. Then it's my wife and I became one, that's family, and then money. The ability to create the empire. I created my first billion at 21 years old, all right, through corporate structure. I created 2 billion in 26. Dying in that coma in 2009, 3.7 billion. Okay, very simple. As we played the game, first system out there was winning the game of business. In winning the game of business, it says cash flow for your time. I wrote that when I was 15. I had to basically go after my attorney sue people for using my goodies, even the blueprint of success. So again, structure is finance in the dream. If we have the structure, understand you're the first CFO. You have to be CFO for yourself, okay? All right, you have to be what? Again, CFO for you. That's Chief Financial Officer of your family. You have to be comfortable. You have to be okay. Let's understand, if you're not okay with structure and paying your bills, the reality is it's a mess. If we get structure for family first, at the same time, LLC, LLP, C Corp, S Corp, PC nonprofit. These are the entities Supreme Court deemed as a legal person. A legal what person? If we were to build corporate credit, and I established the first cash report in 1987 using tax ID, these do not fluctuate. If we get these for ourselves personally, gold and platinum, then we want them for every division we have as a corporation. Division process. What does this mean? Every division of a corporation has its own credit file. See, you're building your business, LLC, LLP, whatever you structure, C, S, nonprofit, PC. When they sue that, they sue you. They sue you. That's the problem. If we have a corporation and we have a division, all right, let's think of it related like the banks do. Banks file bankruptcy on branches, and last year they bankrupt 22,000 locations last year. So 22,000 locations, banks bankrupt last year because their parent company bankrupt their branches. They don't need them as much. Your credit card companies was the highest year ever. They had to settle lawsuits before the end of the year. So what happens is structure's there. So they bankrupt pieces and keep the other pieces in the money. You end up bankrupting you with the corporation or LLC, LLP, and you're broke. You're older, slower. You're not as pretty as you used to be. That's just the way life is. If you structure correctly, the division would be the duck or sheep, not you and not the corporation. When I created division process in 1985, if you go to the 3 o'clock live today, you'll see exactly how I created the division process in 1985 for the world to use, even on the credit card applications today. But again, you're going to have to invest an hour and a half's time with basically what you have as your structure. Basically very simple as we play this game, if you want to win the game of business. But it is structure. Structure is the key to all of us. We have to realize something today. If we want to play, our game is simple. We play one thing. Structure is the finance. So if we look at all the pieces, all right, Bill over here just being a ding-dong. You know, I don't like, I don't like dumb. I shouldn't say that. I was going to say stupid. Not allowed to say stupid. Okay, so, all right, so if we structure correctly, we can basically have the ability to structure ourselves. Okay? So what happens is very simple from attorneys. Well, I train attorneys too and all these other people and CPAs and all that stuff for years. Okay? School got all the paper, but all they did is teach me to do one thing, pass the test, okay? So the reality is very simple. We get to play the game to win. Our goal is to win the game of business. So as we structure, what does this mean? All right, knowledge is power, but most people talk about knowledge are full of doo-doo, okay? But again, I control and have paid millions and billions and built 60 billion for my clients over the years and for myself. Again, that's why they nicknamed me the Godfather of Credit Mechanics Radio. Been on that station 50 years now. Again, this is my 50th year helping people if I can get them to listen, if I get them to learn. What a concept. Can I structure with nothing? Yes, let's put it this way. We were born with nothing. Can we structure with nothing? Yes, we can structure with everything. But it's up to you as you play this game. What does this mean? First of all, we have to look at ourselves. Your credit score, if it's terrible, you have to rebuild it. Well, the first thing you should always do is analyzation. You should have a rapid refresh. A rapid rescore, a rapid refresh. And I created these 49 years ago for your mortgage companies, by the way. Very simple. Then we look at your credit limits on your cards. They fluctuate. Do not let them fluctuate. Again, what do? 29% below. Okay, that's what happens. Now, I understand construction. I am private. Okay. Well, the reality is based on how you structure you. If all cards fluctuate and you're the CFO for your family, you have to realize these are the cards that do not fluctuate. These are the ones you'd make sure you don't go up and down, okay? I have a good credit score. Fantastic, Scott. Okay? But do you have all the substance to it? Do we have to add any history of things you might be missing? We don't know. But to basically look at it, are you married? Okay? What happens is husband and wife situation. If today you are married, okay? Are you a credit repair company? I'm against credit repair. What are you talking about? Okay? We will do rebuilding through our paralegals team if you want. Credit repair is structure. Credit repairs are fraud. Look it up. Come on. If you want to rip off your creditors, go hire the credit repair cloud. They indicted Daniel, $3 million. He's going to prison, okay? These credit repair companies are rip-off companies. They're frauds. And they're going to all be indicted this year. They're doing a credit repair sweep. It's the HR 9991. And if you want to get ripped off, go hire them, okay? If you get serious about rebuilding yourself, there's the structure. You have to understand, rapid rescore, look at what's on your credit file. Years ago, after I helped Ken Yarborough build the credit system the way it is, oldest card, and the fluctuation of all cards but two, all right, I wrote a book called Prove It or Remove It, okay? Prove it or remove it. So again, what do we get to do? You get to prove it or remove it kind of thing, and that's the goal. Now, let me do this. Let me walk into the next building. Hopefully I don't drop this, and we'll see how far that goes, okay? So, what do we get to do today? If you listen and learn very carefully today, if you became an associate, I have associates doing $1,000 a day. They're doing about $5,000 a week if they want to. So if you refer people to us or share the live with everybody, that'd be kind of fun. All right, now this building here, so I walk in, is a Ray Reynolds University. It's a nonprofit, has a 501c3 exemption. If you look at your credit bureaus a long time ago, you had consumer credit counseling that helps people rebuild their credit. By the way, that was one of my companies. We have over 2,100 pictures of rich and famous people, even 3 presidents of the United States of America. I've incorporated them as well. So if we listen very carefully, we can learn today. This afternoon, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I'll be creating a blueprint of success here. And I'm going to give you an example of what you can do for yourself. I got a 506. Your 506 can become a 750 in 7 months, okay? Because it's so low, we got to figure out what's behind, why is it low? So on this board here this afternoon, if you let me help you, I'm going to show you an example of a blueprint. Hi, Brandy. How you doing again? Okay, what is a blueprint? First of all, we have to start with you. Your biggest problem you have today, is we have to build a foundation. Husbands and wives became one, okay? So when I say God, family, that's husband and wife, that's me and my wife, became one. And then like in money. All right, you're the foundation. All cards fluctuate, sticky time. Have to. If you don't understand rules and tools, you will not build the foundation. So when you get sued, you're all screwed up. If you're sued today, you're in the rabbit hole. You're going to get sued. They're going to tear apart you and your spouse at the same time because they're going to say you owe them money or whatever frivolous lawsuit they have. And that's how it works, okay? All right, yes, God brought you to me, and me back to you. We have a chance, and I've been on social media now 9 weeks. I'm used to writing checks for hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for radio and TV. And at one point, I was the largest advertiser, second largest advertiser in California for 32 years. My events shut down freeways, okay? So if we put the back of our card today, sticky. This is a 50, okay? And this is a 10. What do we do in the back of the card? There's a sticky. Why? If I put a sticky behind my card, this is a $10,000 card. Sticky is simple. If I keep this at 29% below, I'm in the green. If I go to 3,000, I'm in the yellow. 5,000, I'm in the red. I've maxed out my card. So if all cards fluctuate, your responsibility for you and your family is to understand that. If we understand that, the next thing is these don't fluctuate. So let's write down the real rules and tools, okay? It's very simple. All right, American Express, Gold, and Platinum do not fluctuate. They are paid over time limit 100,000. They allow you 99 more cards. Would you like 99? No, you want 9, okay? So let's structure the right way to finance. Let's understand on my dashboard, we're playing with 62 million of live credit. Real stuff, okay? Not trade line crap, all right? When I sponsor my race cars, motorcycles, and race boats, okay, that's a write-off to the corporations, okay? We play the game to win, the game of business. When we take our cars and make them a division of a corporation, the reality is we're not a duck and sheep. The problem with all of you, let's take Mr. Fortune here. all right, that wants to debate about trust a little bit, okay? His car is registered to him. His car is registered to him, flat out. If he bumps someone's car today, they're going to sue him. He's now going to basically be open to the world in lawsuits, and under the penalty of perjury, he's going to answer all the questions. And if they sue him for any other reason, what's going to happen? You do not want to open Pandora's box. A car should be registered to a division. Okay? He says wrong. Let's understand. Okay? It's not registered to me, it's registered to the trust. Fantastic. Okay? So when they sue the trust, they sue you. See, this is what I don't want to say dumb. Okay? Let's understand. If the car is registered to a trust, you just made the biggest mistake in your life. Pop. You just screwed up. Okay? When that car is in a bumpity bump, okay, they're going to call one of these bloodsucker attorneys, okay, all right, in the United States of America. I'm Larry Parker. I'm a Morgan. They're going to, you just, damn, that is, I wrote a book called Bite Your Tongue, Love Longer. I got to bite my tongue pretty damn hard. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. If your trust is a register of your car, jump up and kick yourself in the assets. That is the dumbest thing in the world. Let's use some common sense. I don't understand this. If I bump a car and it's in my trust, they sue the trust, not me. You just open the trust to the world. Let me take a second because I just want to get pissed off and dumb. I don't understand dumb. It just pisses me off to no end. You listen to a bunch of circus clowns going blah, blah, blah. What a bunch of hooey. What a bunch of crap. You're going to change your car, Mr. Fortune, to a division. The people. The only thing you're allowed to basically sacrifice on planet Earth is a friggin' division. Division. He sacrifices in his trust. I mean, that is like, are you friggin' kidding me? You got a trust owning, controlling assets, and you made it the register of a car. You just put a bullseye on the damn trust. You probably listen to all these ding-dongs and howdy doody and blind trust and blah, 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 3 LLCs, her grant, don't buy a house. You got some sort of a damn circus out there, it's ridiculous, okay? I don't understand circus. There's so many clowns out there, it's ridiculous. Let's watch, come on. Here's the banks, okay? Banks, bankrupt locations last year, okay? Banks, okay? That's a corporate umbrella. Your goal is to learn doing tax balancing. I mean, this is the reason it pisses me off because guess what? I've been studying law and accounting since I could practically walk, okay? And I hate I can't say hate, I don't like that word either. This is a line of defense. I'm gonna bite my tongue. I promise I wouldn't get pissed off today. Banks are doing tax balancing. Your problem is you being you. Mr. Fortune, if you're not at that 3 o'clock this afternoon Pacific Standard Time, that's the biggest mistake you made in your life. I've never heard so much dumb in my life. You're a smart man. Why the blank would you have your car registered to your trust? I don't get it. Okay, let's get past that because I'm just getting pissed off. Okay? I don't like when people put themselves in jeopardy. It pisses me off. Okay? I don't like it. It just sucks. Your car is registered to a division because I said so. Mr. Fortune, you better start listening because you're screwing up. You're screwing up big time. Okay? Damn. All right? I hope you don't have a wife and kids right now. Because the day you bump someone's car today at 2 o'clock this afternoon, you get lost it all. You lost it all. I don't get it. Ladies and gentlemen, for the ones who can listen and not be silly enough to make their car registered to their trust. Draw this. Draw this. Draw this. You're going to have whatever you have here as a legal person, Supreme Court. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay? This is a line of defense. You will create a line of defense today because I said so. Okay? You will have 3 divisions of you. You will have a division over here. All right? You'll have 3 of them, so write down division of me. Write it down. One of those divisions will actually be you'll register your card to a division. The only thing you're willing to sacrifice, ladies and gentlemen, is a damn division. God. Let's understand. I created division process in 85, 86. California sent me a letter in the mail. State of California. Okay? In 1984, I owned some Shakey's, pizzas, 31 flavors, shopping centers, condos, and all these pieces. I am known as the king of satellite television, manufacturing, installation, all right, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, having fun with that too. I started the largest donut chain in the friggin' world, cleaning company. You better get to know me, Mr. Fortune. I got the letter in the mail. I had to pay franchise tax fee. What the blank? In 1984, I didn't want to pay franchise tax fee up to $1.2 million in California because I have a corporation. So what did I do? Simple. I went to Sacramento. Sacramento, I asked a question to 2 departments. And I asked, can I create, listen carefully, all right, an entity under my LLC, LLP, C Corp, nonprofit PC, blah, 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 all right, doesn't have to pay franchise tax fee. I invented division process in 85, 86. It's been in my books for 40 plus years. The only thing you're willing, all of you are willing to sacrifice is a damn division. Oh, why would you ever sacrifice you and your family and your corporation in the first place? I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. So today, if you give me the chance at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I'll repackage all of you. All of you. This is ridiculous, okay? All right, Joe Bannister, all right, simple. All right, bottom line is blah, 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 blah. Don't give a crap about these people. You, I do. Put them on the phone with me. Let's rip them apart. Okay, let's tell them the truth, okay? Hey, I've been challenging people my whole life because it's fun. Okay, why? I've got an IQ of 203. 203, okay? I have total recall and I write with both hands to talk at the same time. And then when I talk about law, hell, they have no idea what they're going to talk about with me. I just have fun, okay? Now, the back of my books years ago, very simple, would show I hold the highest kick record in planet Earth. It's only 13 feet. One of the cars in the car collection in a division, not a trust. Ay, ay, ay. One of the houses, one of the mansions, one of the yachts. Why not? When Ken Yarbrough and I wrote a book, it was called File Segregation. Didn't like it. He did. I didn't like it. I tabled it. I did not like it. He wanted to lie. Lie. No, thank you. So I put it there on the shelf. When I distributed this when I was in 1976, this is winning the game of business. In it, it shows very simple cash flow, fee per time, and financial freedom, and the blueprint for success on the rights to all that. My attorneys have had to sue. Many people use my goodies all the time, and they get their assets kicked. We always have to remind them from Kiyosaki to basically Tony Robbins and the blah, blah, blah to quit using my goodies before I sue you again. Okay? That Trump has that book. Hell yes, he does. He's one of the 3 corporations that I set up for rich and famous and presidents. Yeah, he has that book too, okay? This is one of the things you give to your kids, okay? It's called starting out right. Why? Because I don't want them to screw up like you're screwing up today. I don't want them to make the same mistakes we all did. It's ridiculous. Start out right, okay? So for those who talk about credit repair, which is a fraud, one of my first books was Prove It or Remove It. This is called Winning the Credit Game, by the way. I turned it into a chess game. I became a chess master at 13. Nobody would play with me. It used to be red. Then it went to the chess game, okay? So let's play with my way because I don't like your way. Remember, Consumer Credit Counseling on the credit bureaus? That was my company right here. So let's go to reality of life, okay? Today, Mr. Fortune, I want you to fire yourself because I think you should fire yourself. Hire me. Why? I'm the guy that actually helped set up the credit system. I'm the guy that sued the Better Business Bureau, proved they were a Ponzi in 79, okay? They got kicked out of Los Angeles. They got indicted too. If you want to play with someone real, you play with me. But if you want to, it's up to you. So remember, share the live with people. Share the live with everybody. I have only one original or only one official account for TikTok. There are 2 people copying my goodies all the time. So there's one, all right, basically it's very simple. It is basically my only official, all right, TikTok account right there. So if you want to play, my problem is what I had in 2009. Dying to come, I had to come back rebuilt. This is your future, people. This is what I'm going to train you how to do. I'm going to hold your hand, train you how to do this the right way. It's very simple. Yes, it's reverse. Take a picture, look at it in the mirror. It'll show it to you as well. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, I have no way. Well, the reality is structure. Structure is key. What do? Simple. We repackage you the right way. That's the ultimate goal for all of you. So understand, family, God, family, credit, God, family, credit, God, family, credit, God, family, money, 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 money. But again, God, family, money. Fluctuation is what you're going to learn. You don't let them ever jack up your credit again. That's ridiculous. What do? These don't fluctuate. What do? Okay, I get you 9 more of these suckers right away. Why not? They offer 99. If you refer 10 people today and get them to follow me and they buy something, don't be surprised if I give you $1,000. I have people doing $1,000 a day. Okay, a day. But I don't want to pay you. I want to pay your corporation or your entity. I want your entity to absorb the money, not pay tax if it's profitable. Then we're going to create debt offset taxes. Debt offset taxes. What do you mean? That's what he just said. Well, the reality is very simple. We have to play the game. Is there an annual fee? Annual fee to what? Okay. All right. California has a franchise tax fee every year for every corporation. It's ridiculous. Just to have a piece of paper, they want $1,000, up to $1,000. I didn't want to pay $1.2 million. So I got him to do division process in 85, 86. Today, the only thing you're willing to sacrifice is a division. Okay? So again, to make sure you're doing it correctly, get your butt to the 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I mean, you scare me because you said your cars are registered to your trust. I'm sorry, that is the blankety blank thing you could ever do to yourself and your family. It is ridiculous, okay? I'm so pissed off that the circus clowns out there are telling you wrong stuff every day, okay? They're clowns. It's basically a circus. If you want to correct yourself, then 3 o'clock will help you do that, but it's up to you. All I can do is get you past go. I can hold your hand and make sure you do it right. How do I sign up? It's free. It's in the link tree. Get to the 3 o'clock today. It's very simple. It's free to everybody. I'm online twice a day telling you the truth, trying to get you on off your assets and do it right. There's a right way, there's a wrong way. It's simple, okay? We're going to protect ourselves. The only thing you're willing to do is sacrifice a division. Me, I'm going to tell you, I'm willing to sacrifice a division, not the corporate, my family. I have no intent to do fraud. You're going to turn that into red stamp. How's that? All right, because you got an LLC, oh goody. You got one of these books, fantastic. You're the managing member. They all say certificate of ownership. It's in your possession. What's 9/10 of the law's possession? Who's the duck or sheep? When they sue that LLC, LLP, C Corp, S Corp, S PC, it's on Secretary of State's website. They're going to sue you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Not only will they sue you because you didn't structure it the right way, your car's registered to a trust. And you bump a car, they sue the trust. Wow. All right. See, the problem is if you're going to learn to be a puppet master, you better play in my way because it works. Yes, 800-254-9506. Talk to a specialist. It is 4:36 in the morning. Is that right? Yep. What it says on my watch says right there. It says there. Okay. There you go. See, I like having fun, but I like to make sure we're on track. I will correct your mistakes all the time. Okay. I will show you exactly how it backs up every law, every county, everything else that proves the truth. But again, what happens? Your car is going to be owned as a division. Okay, I don't own cars. I've never put my name on a car. We have 21 cars in a car collection worth over $10 million at times. Why would I put my name on a car? Every time I'm driving a $4 million Ferrari, they're looking at me, ah! They want to bump the damn car, get a lawsuit. Every time I'm in the Lamborghini, same thing. We got to play the game to win. Do you not want to win? Or you want to set yourself up to lose? I don't get it. So, today, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to show you an example of a blueprint to change your life if you want to. If today you want to make $1,000, you send this live, you share it to everybody, get them to buy something. When they buy something, I'll send your corporation or entity $1,000. I have people all the time that we sell money, or excuse me, I can't say the word, okay? We send money to. That's how it works. Would you like some? Can you imagine? The truth will set you free. It's easy to do. We, the people. One of my theses a long time ago was international constitutional law. Okay? I loved every bit of it. It's fun. But again, what do we get to do? All right? So small and scrolling so fast. We're going to have some fun. Got to have fun, right? All right. So guess what? You share the live with me and everything else. 1776 or 1976? It's 1976. 1770, well, that's our country, okay? What do we do? But again, we look at 1934, all right, the Gold Act. We look at 1971. Then we look at the world of 32, 34, and we have to look at what they had basically in 1937, the SIC codes. There's so many things to learn, it's ridiculous. But our goal is very simple. Share the live with everybody, please. Share the live. We'd have fun. See, I'll help you connect your dots. And I'll help you get to where you want to go if you want to. But again, it's going to be up to you. We're going to take real credit. We're going to finance the dream and offset the taxes. Your paycheck is taxed. You should be downloading SS5 today because I'm going to talk about that as well, SS5. You or mommy filled it out. Okay? Depends what you did, you and mommy. SS5 equals SSN and 1040, connecting the dots. 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Okay? It is 4:39 in the morning right now, no problem. Having fun, been having fun since 3:15. It's fun. I like having fun, don't you? So again, today, we're going to talk about divisions. We're going to talk about tax balancing. We're going to make sure that your car is registered to a division of a corporation and not a trust. And we're not going to make sure that we get sued and they hurt our families. Because right now, if you're sued, they tear apart your life because you are the officer of your entity. The officer of your entity, which is wrong, okay? And you'll find out I'm going to correct a lot of things to help you if you want to listen and learn, but it's up to you. I just created millions and billions, all right, in my 20s. Why not? Why not? It's fun if you want to play, but it's going to be up to you as well. The goal today would be understanding structure. Structures, finance, and the dream. So what do we get to do? Okay, let's do this. I think about two things I need to do as well. Okay, gonna walk to the office, have some fun at the same time, and that's the ultimate goal for all of us. So, now, let's talk about employees you'll hire in the future. I'm sorry to tell you, you hire 100 people, 80% of your employees suck. They're terrible. 80% of the people you hire are not very good employees. They milk the job, they take advantage, they just don't really give a you know what. And what happens is you want to get to your 20%. Your 20% going into the call center here. Got to get the lights open up, ready to go for the office to show up at 6. 2 meetings, setting the tone. One's at 6 and one's at 7:30. Setting the tone for the day. The paralegal department, no problem. We have our genius back here, Daniel. He's an IT engineer. And he helps with all kinds of stuff as well. So, going back to the call center. Now, on the wall, it'll say, make a friend, make a buck. See, I force you to get to know me. Isn't that terrible? If you get to know me first, okay, I can help you. Okay? All right, then we can think on the sales team of the specialists. Make a friend, make a buck. They got to get to know you first. Because if we can help you, let's help you. And you know they're going to sell you something. Come on, let's be honest. So we get to play the game. 90% is my experience. Okay, well, you got 99, I got 80% suck, and you got 99. Well, again, you got to be careful. Unfortunately, not all employees are good. It took a while to get to the 20%, okay? 20% of employees are good that we have, because all we keep in the 20%, they push out the 80% that they suck. Okay, we're expanding all the time. One guy in social media department is too busy playing with his music, so guess what? He's gone. Next guy in the sales department, what happens? He falls asleep multiple times. So guess what? Gone. Again, this is the problem. 80%. I'm just lighting candles to let you know into the men's and women's bathrooms. Now, the 20% you get, spoil them, okay? Get their vending machine. Get all the goodies that they like. No problem. Because the more you can keep them here working, the better. That's how it works, too. So as we look through the process, hallway is kind of dark sometimes. So we basically, there's light. You'll see RR through the office. By the way, that stands for Ray Reynolds. Oh, that's me. So if we want to play the game, we get to win. I just want to help people. But I want to correct some of the mistakes out there, okay? One of the things that struck me very, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm sorry. The social media, 9 weeks now, helping people. All right. Wanted to get 25,000 followers right away. Okay, I'm at 24,000 something. Maybe I'll hit 25,000 a day. I think I'm only 100 away. But again, anyway. Trying to get that as much as I can to have fun with people. So, guess what? Did I hit 25,000 yet today, guys? Anybody looking out there? So if you basically allow me to help you, I'll guide you. I'll show you exactly what needs to be done. And if you want, you can send me your followers. You can follow the live, share it with everybody, and we can change the world. What a concept. Okay, could you imagine if we repackage you? I know VP Properties. You became a client a week ago. You had a 500 score. Don't worry. When I'm done with it, it'll be a 750. Okay? If I have to add history, we'll do that as well. Whatever needs to be added, we're going to add that because that's half the fun. So as we do this, I'm at 24.5. Okay, 24.5. That means I need 500 more. Oh, that's terrible. Well, I was hoping to get to the 25,000. But what do we do? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got a lot of work to do this morning. Remember, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we're going to talk about fluctuation. Fluctuation. We're going to put sticky behind cards. When we talk about the cards that do not fluctuate at all, that way you have the ability to have this as fun. Is that the brandy? Yeah, brandy. Yeah, that's what is it called? Like the whiskey, I guess. That's what she always says. But anyway, Brandy's one of our managers at the office, and she has fun helping people as well. Okay, well, we have paralegals and all the other people and specialists. So God bless. Well, God bless you too. The reality is very simple. God gave me another chance, okay, to help people. Okay, dying in a coma in 2009 kind of sucks, but what do? Well, if you can help people, because God gives you a gift, why not help them? The bottom line is very simple. And you got someone here saying basically, hi, Brandy. Okay, good morning to all of you. All right, so today, in the link tree, make sure you download the book, Starting It Right for your kids. It's free. Why not? Your articles of corporation are free too. Why would anybody spend thousands of dollars for a piece of paper that's free and you just pay your filing fee? And they didn't learn dilly squat. I don't like that. But we get to play the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a lot of work to do. Got to check 19 bank accounts, 19 credit cards, and basically, all right, about 64 credit cards, by the way. Having fun. You see, when people get stuck, there's certain things that I have that they don't have. For instance, if I have to help somebody with what's called a blueprint loan, American Express gives you a blueprint loan. These are American Express cards. Every one of these is going to be getting up to $250,000 line of credit. So as I utilize their cards and help them add history, what does that mean? I have bank accounts that show in and out, thousands of transactions and goodies and money. I connect the dots to help them as well because it's fun. It's like when you look at the Chase. Chase is one of my favorite banks for credit cards and basically what's called a checkbook money. So we get to play the game to win. The goal would be always to win the game of business. It's not easy. If you want easy, sorry, it's never been easy. How do I start a division? You go to class and you spell division correctly. That's your first thing. Next, you go to 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time today, and I'll show you about division process. That's what you do. This is not just get a quick answer question. I'll answer the questions, no problem, but I still want you to go to basically, let me demonstrate to you about the division process and how to protect your assets. The ultimate goal is very simple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 3 o'clock this afternoon, Pacific Standard Time. All right, have your tab pen ready to go. We'll be there for about an hour and a half. You're going to write down notes, invite all your friends and family, because if you did it correctly, you can actually get to send some money too. Why not? So we do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. Never forget the end of the day. It's very simple. Okay? God loves us all.